Salutations, movie fans. Welcome to another episode of the Real Movie Watchers podcast. And with you, as always, got your hosts, Matt, Mother Effin McGuire, and Alec, Mother Effin Fritz.
Yep. And did you just say salutations?
I did. I was trying to think what else I could use to start. Like
a simple maybe like, hey, motherfuckers, what's up or something? No?
I want to start off that hard. No.
No, you're not. All right.
No.
We'll ease them in.
It reminded me of fucking Charlotte's Web, dude. Salutations. With what's the little rat's name? I can't remember the rat. Mr.
I don't remember anything from that story except that, the pig and the spider.
Pembleton? Wimbledon? It's something like that. Anyways, he says salutations, and I was like, yeah, it came to mind. But,
Nice.
yeah, so we're at episode number 6. And we had to push this one back again a little bit. But yeah, today's November 4th. Already into November. Still in the window of Halloween. That was just last Thursday. So it hasn't even been a week.
Shit, I saw people going to, dressing up and going to parties over the weekend.
Yeah, that's true. Like, if I were in college right now,
It's
there'd
like
still be
usually,
Halloween parties.
People do it that weekend before, but I definitely saw some people, celebrating the weekend
When's
right
close
after.
enough,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say if it's Wednesday, you'd still have parties the following weekend. Obviously for Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this is the second part of our double Halloween feature. Where the first half, a couple weeks ago, we talked about slasher monster movies. This one, we're going to get into the paranormal, ghost.
Oh yeah, ghost baby,
supernatural.
spirits.
My favorites. Save
You
the
know what
best
I
for last.
realized since our last podcast? It was like almost immediately that week after, and then also it's like there's just so much content to talk about, and there's so many movies that we didn't talk about, and maybe didn't give enough
I
time.
had so many come to mind.
I know. Afterwards, I was like, "Oh shit, there's that one," and there's that, and it's just like barely touching on things.
We barely skim the surface.
And
what you get into.
yeah, and we didn't even discuss how, because we did talk about Rob Zombie's like House of a Thousand Corpses for a
Briefly.
little bit. We didn't even touch on how that guy had died like that week.
You mentioned it, but we
Oh,
didn't.
the Captain Spaulding. Yeah. So
Nothing.
I don't know. It's just like there's just too much, and that was an hour and a half episode, and I feel like afterwards I was like, damn. Like I know we talked about a lot, but we didn't really talk about anything.
We talked a little about a lot, but not
right,
a lot
a little about yeah. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
That's why I figure come next year we can like get more specific and fine tune,
Well,
dive into some things.
The nice thing about this is, we can do this for as long as we want. There's no one to stop us. So
Yeah,
as
exactly.
many episodes as long as we want. I mean, you guys don't even have to be listening anymore. We could still do it.
It's really just us talking to ourselves. That's it. That's
Yeah.
how it starts. But yeah, we have topics for years we go on about. But maybe eventually, if we get more into rhythm, we'll do like weekly episodes.
Yeah, you all need to start, listening more and telling your friends to listen more. And then we need to start getting these episodes, posted on some different stuff, which McGuire has talked to me about. So maybe there's some works
Yeah.
on that in the future.
Let's see, we're at episode 6. I was thinking by about episode 10, we'd look into what that is, because I have a general idea of what you have to do. You can do the monthly subscription kind of thing.
Yeah, not to go too far into business on our episode, but a guy I work with said that he thought that Spotify was going to come out with something soon where you
Let's go directly to
basically
that.
record your episode and it uploads to Spotify. Like, I don't know. We didn't get into too much. I don't know if it does it during. I don't know if you have a chance to edit, which we really don't do a lot of editing anyway.
Barely any, just the music.
Yeah, but
But I'm assuming it would
I
only be on
think-
Spotify then? Like you couldn't...
I think it would only be on
Ship it out.
Spotify. So I don't know if we could, I suppose, do everything
start with,
separately,
yeah.
but I think there's things out there where you probably have to pay for them or something, but you can get your stuff out there on like all kinds of platforms. So
Yeah. So that's where we're looking come episode 10. Make it more accessible.
but enough of that boring shit. Let's
yeah,
get
business
into
talk,
it. Yeah.
Shop talk. All right. So let's start with some opening segments here, though. Really, we're just going to talk about some movies we've seen recently. Because with this, 3 weeks since the last we recorded? We're supposed to do 2 weeks ago, but Denver got hit with the big storm. Alec was feeling a little bit...
I pussed out. Well, there's two things. I didn't want to go out in that shitty weather, and the new Call of Duty had dropped Modern Warfare, and I really wanted
So
to
there's two things. There's a third one.
sink my teeth into that.
Yeah, a little bit too much of that Canadian whiskey the night before.
Oh yeah, I was fucking hungover too. So all three of those things were a bad combination for me being motivated to come do the episode.
Which I looked outside, was like, yeah, that's a lot of snow. I wouldn't want to drive anywhere either. So anyways, 3 weeks later, I had a lot of time to watch some new movies. I got 9 new movies under my belt in that time. I had some downtime.
God damn, man! I think I maybe only have like 2.
Yeah, I have a movie problem sometimes.
That's gonna be my New Year's resolution. I need to start really watching more,
Yeah,
rewatching things and watching new things.
yeah. Well, I have so many different platforms I can watch stuff on. It's just like huge menu. But yeah, let's see. So I watched Robin Hood, the new one, 2018.
Who's in that one?
Taron Egerton, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx is in there.
Yeah, he's the a sneeze or whatever, that version, the black dude basically in all the Robin Hood movies.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. First,
He plays that.
the Morgan Freeman guy, the
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah. And it was fun action, cool scenes. And then I got some horror ones in there.
Who
I watched-
decided that character was black?
Is it? There's got to be a literature version first, right?
Is there a backstory where he's like an African?
Well, I think Robin's in the wars, the Crusades somewhere.
In Africa?
I think like at least Egypt or something. I thought they were like
Oh.
northern Africa.
Oh yeah, I guess that would make sense. Anyway,
But anyways, I also watched Us. I don't know if you've seen Us.
I have not.
One.
No, I have not seen Us.
It was interesting. I like that it was unique, a new take on something.
Did you like it as much as Get Out?
No, Get Out was much better. Yeah, Us was it's interesting. It's definitely worth checking out. But yeah, it was nothing that was super blew me away. John Wick 3, of course, I had to watch that one.
Nice.
I did watch The Lost Boys after our talk from the last
Nice.
episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was some great 80s fun. Really dug that one.
Oh yeah.
Then I rewatched The Cell. I'd seen The Cell before. I remember that was kind of some good
I
creepiness
love that
in it.
movie. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I just do.
It's just a cool concept, like
Yeah.
go into people's heads and see like what their mind is
It's
like.
J-Lo.
Yeah, J-Lo in
And-
the 2000. I think
Yeah,
it's
and
when it came out.
it's actually like
Prime time.
cinematography actually is actually pretty
Yeah,
cool in that movie.
I did
too.
like that a lot. I was like, oh yeah, this is good, especially for being from 2000. And then I watched some off Netflix. So they had the Stephen King In the Tall Grass. I don't know if you saw that preview.
I saw the preview.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Was it good? Recommend or no recommend?
There's others you should watch first, I'd say. So no, that's not.
Like other movies, just in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it
All right.
was
You know, I wasn't interested in watching it anyway. So if you
No.
you say
no.
if you
not,
say no, I'm not.
not worth it. I'd
Yeah,
say
okay.
it was. Yeah, I mean it's fun, but not recommend. What I would highly recommend. This was just a great film, as a film itself, but also a great zombie film. Well, zombie in quotations because they're fast zombies. But Train to Busan. It's been out for a little bit. The Korean film.
Oh yeah,
It's got
I've
Peeps
seen
in
the preview for
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
It
Mhm.
was B-Wall Tamale. He recommended it.
Oh,
to
yeah.
me a couple
Cool.
years ago. So I finally watched it. It's fucking legit.
All right.
And it even had. It's probably better I watched it now, having a daughter, because there's a whole father-daughter dynamic in the movie. So at the very end, made it much more like, oh shit, I totally relate. I have a daughter of my own. I know what he
Yeah.
feels. But it's I highly recommend it. Just the whole storyline, the zombie action, and then just the whole how things play out in general. It's just a really well put together film.
All right. All
Still
right.
fast zombies though, so they're not true zombies. Still,
Yeah.
still good.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then I saw Ginger Snaps. That's a werewolf one I've been wanting to see for a while. From the 2000, I want to say. And that was fun. That was a good take on a
Are the
werewolf
wolves
story.
ginger? Ginger wolves?
Well, one of the girls' name is Ginger, and she does have red hair.
Is there like wolf-like form? Is she ginger?
Is she actually like pitch white, pale white, whatever you want to call that? Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
It's kind of cool looking. It was very good.
Don't you think if like whatever your natural hair color would be, that would be your color that you would
That's
transform to
actually-
as a wolf?
Fun thought. Never thought about with werewolves. be your hair color. That's how you could identify the wolf based on the hair color
Yeah.
of the person. So like all Asians would be just black wolves.
Well, I mean, yeah, my hair is black. I would imagine I would be a black wolf. It
Black-haired
would
wolf.
make no sense
You
for
would
me
be a
to be
blonde
a
wolf?
yeah. that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's true. I never thought about that. I like that. Get some ginger wolves, black-haired wolves, white. That's fun. I like that. All right. And then on Halloween night, of course, I had to watch a scary movie. So my sister came over and her boyfriend, and we watched Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. So it's based on I remember. So it's based on the books from like the 90s, 2000s, and you had them at your house. Like if you looked
Yeah,
up
with
the,
all the it's like chicken noodle soup for the soul.
Yeah.
But with scary stories.
exactly for
Yeah.
like teenagers,
Like
yeah.
a bunch of little short stories and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's like
yeah.
the big toe, the missing toe, whatever, the red
Mhm.
spot. So yeah, it's produced by Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo. So yeah, definitely check that out. I mean, my sister and I agreed it's rated PG-13, and I think if it was rated R, it would have been much better. It could have made it more gory or like more intense.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish they would have done more practical effects. There's a little bit too much CGI with some of the scary monsters, but it's definitely it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and brought me
Good
back
for
to
Halloween.
Yeah, exactly. And it takes place on Halloween, so it was perfect. I like to theme it up like that, like every
I know you do.
Halloween.
I know you do.
I started making lists on IMDb, so it's like movies that take place on Halloween. Yeah, it's just fun. That and making playlists. It's a fun little
Yeah.
hobby to keep me busy. And then lastly, Mother I watched with
Mhm.
Jennifer Lawrence, and that one left a mark. That one was
That one
a little
stuck with
disturbing.
you, huh? Yeah, I know. I haven't seen it, but I know about it from reading reviews and stuff.
I was gonna say when you brought up, I mean spoilers, when you brought up eating babies, so I was like, he must have seen it, but he didn't see it.
Yeah, no.
just read about
I
it?
just know about it. Well, tends to be when I know I'm not gonna watch a movie. Like I just know it's like I'm not gonna see
Ah.
that. I'll just read about it though, because
see
I
what
don't worry
happens.
about the spoilers. It's like I'm probably never gonna watch it, and when I ever
Yeah.
get around to watching it, it's not gonna matter that I know what happens. I'll still
True. Yeah.
appreciate the movie, So
And that wasn't like the intense part. It was more how it was shot was really cool. It was like camera was always following Jennifer Lawrence around, and then it's just like people just keep coming in the house, and every room gets more and more crowded. It's like I felt like stressed out, like oh my god, like there's too many people here.
that's cool. The cinematography did that for you. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, she should just leave the house, just get out of there. That'd make me feel more comfortable. And she just gets crazy all of a sudden.
Right.
And then of course I read like takes on it afterwards and what it all meant, and so it's just a whole allegory on like God and Mother Earth and Adam and Eve were the first people to show up in the house and stuff.
That's with Javier Bardem too, right?
Yeah, he's like the God basically character. Jennifer Lawrence is the Mother Earth. But it was a pretty interesting take. I'm glad I watched it. I don't think I'll watch it again anytime soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was happy I saw that.
Nice.
Oh, all right, that was a list.
Yeah.
How about you?
You got through my weekend. Not nearly as much. For whatever fucking reason, these live action quote unquote,
There you go.
these Disney remakes, I've been
Yeah.
watching a lot of them. So I watched The Lion King.
Ooh, that's next on my list.
It was good. But Megan watched it with me. And there's one part that we just really didn't like. But that was my only
Okay.
complaint of the movie. Other than that, it was good.
Okay, I'll be curious. I'll probably see that soon. Was it better than Aladdin live action?
No, actually, I really like Aladdin. I would put that Aladdin #1 so far
That's
on
one,
all this.
okay.
I have high hopes for Mulan,
Yeah.
but I would put
Yeah,
Aladdin
definitely.
#1. The Lion King was fine. It was good, even though it's all kind of CGI. There was just one part in the movie that they changed from the original that was the one part they probably should not have changed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be curious to see.
I mean, it might even be subtle enough where even if you know the movie pretty well, you might not pick up on it.
Oh, I know it pretty well. It's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
you're gonna know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want me to spoil it for you.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll wait.
So
I'd
here's
like
what
to see
happens
it soon.
now. All right. No, I won't be a dick.
Speaking of live action Disney, though, it's on HBO now. The Jungle Book from the late '90s. that was live action,
Mm-hmm.
but not like with, like
Not
animals
like the
didn't talk and
newest
stuff.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it with you. I want to say when we were kids.
Yeah, I remember that too.
But it's
I
still
really
fun.
don't remember a whole lot about it, but I think we actually went and saw that in the theater.
We might have, yeah. I remember watching that a lot when I was
Yeah.
on TV as a kid. But that's fun. It's worth checking out again. It's got Lena Headey. I don't know how to say her name.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, Cersei. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in. I was like, holy
Cersei,
shit,
yeah.
that's right. She's in this
Yeah.
movie. Yeah, that's a fun one.
So I saw that. It was fine. It was good. Then I rewatched both the Conjuring, and then the sequel to it, Conjuring 2.
I don't know if I saw the second one.
Second one's not as good. First one, I still really like from the first. Because my nostalgia from the first time I saw it, which was in the theater too,
So that's
which
perfect.
makes a difference for. I mean, I won't just say just horror movies. It probably makes a difference for a lot of movies, but in particular, I think for that movie, it made a difference for me. I still really like it. It's not probably in the pantheon of people's greatest horror movies, but I really like it.
Yeah.
Or scary movies. So I rewatched both those, and then right before, then Saturday night, I watched Hereditary because you told me I needed to watch it before this podcast.
Definitely.
And I have mucho thoughts on it. I don't necessarily want to turn this into a Hereditary episode, but I have a lot of thoughts on it.
Yeah, which I was going to say, you should save that when we get into that genre ones.
Get into the meat.
So
Yeah,
I'm definitely
okay.
curious to see what you thought of that. Yeah.
Just to give a heads up, fucking amazing movie.
Yeah? You enjoyed it that much?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than my Ex Machina suggestion for you?
Much better. Yeah. Leaps and bounds better, bro.
That's good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. It's something different and new I liked. Well, yeah, any other movies you've seen recently?
I mean, that's really it.
Yeah, that was it for me. I mean, now
I
we're
still
getting...
need to see the Joker, which I think we even talked about
Oh,
in the
yeah.
last fucking podcast. I'm hoping I can see it maybe tomorrow. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know
let
if
me
that's
know.
gonna happen.
I don't even know the next time I'm going to be able to see a movie. Now that you get a babysitter and shit.
Yeah, you won't be able to do anything for.
Yeah, but that'd be fun
You
to
know.
see in theaters. All right, I have to fill that out. But yeah, Joker. And movies looking forward to. I still have to look up some more previews for that one. Well, yeah, let's get into talking about fucking ghost movies and shit. Let me hold on one sec. Okay, so I wanted to had a couple questions for you actually to kick off our paranormal supernatural horror discussion here. So you prefer paranormal ghost movies over like the monster slasher kind of movies?
Yeah, probably.
And why would you say you like those movies more? Like ghost story, paranormal movies.
I would say for one, they just scare the shit out of me more.
Yeah.
Uh,
But like, why do you think they're scarier? Because they definitely are for me too.
I'm not sure, man. I think it's because I don't know. I think it's because there's that element of like there's just being like maybe it's just like there's this unknown element to it. You know,
Exactly
a
what
movie
I'm
like like Jason or any slasher or whatever monster thing. It's just kind of all laid out on a platter. It's right there for you, and
you can like explain it basically. Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
that
You know,
guy.
I'm not particularly worried about werewolves, nor am I particularly worried about ghosts.
Yeah.
If anything, a movie like fucking, any of those slasher movies should scare you the most because they're the things that are most likely to happen in the
That's
real
true.
world.
You could be slashed up. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely it might be something that's just been so ingrained culturally.
Yeah.
The idea of just like good and evil and like a heaven and hell.
Yeah.
I don't know why that would have an effect on
I'd say,
it
yeah.
being freakier to me, like just a scary movie.
Especially not growing up like Catholic or Christian.
Yeah,
or
yeah. I
anything.
mean, I'm not religious, you know that.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. I don't know. Wait,
It's-
what do you have a thought
yeah,
on that, or
because they scare me more as well. That's also why I like them more. But I think part of it is because it's that scariness where you like can't fight it. Like you can try to fight Jason or a werewolf even or whatever, but like you got like something you can't see that's basically leaves you feeling like helpless. Like it's gonna throw shit around the room. You don't know where it's coming from. You can't see it. I mean, you can hear it when it wants you to hear it, kind of thing. It's one of those where, like, after I watch a good ghost movie or paranormal movie, and then I turn the lights off, I'm home by myself, like, go to my room, where, like, it sticks with me, like, what if something's here right now? What if it's watching me? Whereas, like, a monster slasher movie, the movie's over, and I'm like, the
See,
scariness is done for me.
so that's a good point. How you internalize that? Do you think it's because I guess maybe the like spiritual movies, the ghost stories, basically,
Mm-hmm.
they have more of an emotional element to them, right? Wouldn't you think? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Because
Mhm.
they're all it's all very much, it's a personal thing for the
Mhm.
people in the movie. It's like uh, much more so than I get the feeling on like the monster movies and the slasher movies. The
Yeah.
emotion of the movie like The Exorcist and stuff is just, it's more visceral. It's like it's way you're just more emotionally invested for whatever reason
Yeah.
in the characters and what happens with them, and the mystery behind why those things are happening to them, and just like
That's why I wonder, maybe because it draws, or like a monster movie, slasher guy, whatever, kills you, you're dead, it's gone, it's like quick. Whereas most horror movies, like paranormal movies, that's the whole movie is the one thing happening. It's like stretched out over time, where it's like small incidences are happening in the house to start with, and it gets worse and worse, and like possession might happen. Or I guess it's like drawn out more. So I
right.
wonder if that's why.
And in the case of like a slasher movie or anything like that, you have to make like 10 different Halloween movies, 10 different Freddy movies or whatever, in order to keep telling that story. But a movie like, for example, it just came to mind me of The Sixth Sense.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to keep telling that story, but the story keeps going, because at the end, the little boy, Haley Joel Osment's character,
Mm-hmm.
He's finally coming to terms with his gift. He tells his mom about his gift. And you don't need a follow-up to that. That story keeps going, and it's kind of it's an interesting sort of thing. It's like, yeah, there's just an emotional element to it, I guess, that's deeper.
Yeah. That's why I like those.
Yeah.
For sure. They make me feel. I mean, I've had my nightmares as I've been older have been more paranormal related, where like I'll be in a house or something in my dream, and there'll be a certain room where I can just like feel like it's not a good room to be in, and like people talk about, oh yeah, don't go in that room for blah blah blah. I can like feel like the energy coming out of that room, and that's more that paranormal kind of like ghost feeling where it's like, oh shit, I can't
And
stop
I think
it,
that's
can't
true
fight
for
it.
a lot of people. I think that's why it's so popularized, especially with all those fucking like reality ghost hunter shows and shit, which are all
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of bullshit to me. But no one has a fucking story about how they ran into a fucking werewolf. Very
Yeah.
few people have stories that are alive to tell of them
Yeah.
running into a serial killing fucking mask wearing chainsaw guy.
Yeah. I
But
wonder.
many, many more people of all different cultures and ages and everything have like paranormal stories and stuff like that, weird occurrences that they've experienced in their
That's
life that
true.
they can't
A
explain.
spirit realm of some
Yeah.
sort.
So I
Yeah.
think it's just a more relatable, encompassing thing for everybody, especially when you go from that spiritual ghost thing as a direct line towards, okay, good and evil,
Mhm.
demons, heaven and
Yeah.
hell. And then when you bring that religious aspect into it, that really connects with a lot of people, I feel like.
Honestly, I do find that people who I know are, Christian or practicing religion do find those like demon movies to be scarier. Like they can't handle them just because
It's real for
ingrained.
them.
Yeah.
It's like a real,
Yeah. It could be a possibility.
yeah. And even if the story being told itself isn't real to them, the concept behind it about possession and just demons
Yeah.
being a real thing
It's in
that
the Bible.
exists and
Yeah.
actually come after us little humans out here in the world. Yeah, that I think that is, you know, you always hear those
Yeah.
stories on there's story. You know, that's what The Conjuring is based off of, is the fucking
That's true, yeah.
Warrens
An actual
and their
story.
real kind of attempt at collecting information and meeting people and helping people that are going through these
Yeah, and there's actually people
kind of
out there that
possessions and stuff.
do that today, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever played the Ouija board? You ever done Ouija?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
A very long time ago.
Yeah, same.
Jeff Garrettson used to have one.
Oh, no shit.
Mhm. I remember playing at his house. Yeah. It's funny. Another thing too. That's the Ouija board's a good example of this. Why these movies scare me more. I don't believe in them, but I think maybe there is this little there's a legitimate part of me that doesn't really buy into the whole ghost thing.
Yeah. Your logical part of your brain, yeah.
Yeah, and just but I think the thing that kind of fuels that, there's a little piece that fuels that that's also like, I don't believe in it because it would be too scary to believe in it, you
True.
know? And that's kind of like the Ouija board thing. Like, yeah, I don't believe in that shit, but I'm not going out and buying one.
Yeah.
If you fucking
Gonna
brought
light
one
some
over to my
candles
house, I
and-
would be like, nah, I'm good,
Little
dude.
seance thing going, yeah.
It's like, nah, let's play cards or something.
Just don't,
Yeah.
don't even have the chance for something to happen today, yeah.
You know?
I did have one weird Ouija board experience, and this was a long time ago. I was maybe, I don't know, 5 years old or something. That's probably the last time I played it. And this could be totally someone there knew the answer to this question that I asked, so that's why it happened. But at that time, I didn't know my grandpa's name, and he's still alive today, so I know him. But I didn't know his name. He was just Grandpa when I was a kid. So it was my turn to ask a question, and I was like, oh, I wonder what my grandpa's name is. Like, what's my grandpa's name? And then it did spell out Harry, his name. And from my memory, I don't remember anyone there that I was with, as a bunch of kids.
That would know that shit.
Yeah, that would know that.
Yeah.
So that's what stuck with me. I was like, was that for real? Or like, is someone maybe someone was there, they was fucking with me? But man,
And yeah, some people I know, friends, coworkers, even Megan has at least one little story about something that happened that was really freaky and unexplainable and everything. And I can't say I personally had any experience like that.
I've never had like a ghost one. I've had my imagination as a kid and even in high school at home playing with me, especially after watching The Ring. I remember I couldn't take a shower and like close my eyes to rinse my hair out or anything because I was afraid when I opened my eyes that fucking Samara or whatever would be standing in the room there.
Yeah, that movie has not aged well.
You don't think so? I mean, I saw the ending on TV recently, and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen this since high school.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that one-
I'm not a big fan of the Rings and the Grudges and the blahs like that. Those fucking things. Yeah.
Those got me good in high school. The first Ring and the first Grudge.
I mean, they're freaky, but on a more kind of like, boo, like the jump scare kind of fucking thing, you know. Little
Yeah.
quick cut scenes
Yeah,
with
the girl in
crazy
the closet.
music and then
Yeah.
But there's no lingering thing for me on those.
Well, you didn't have a younger sister who had long black hair and who would sometimes, because she knew that the movie freaked me out, would come stand in my doorway, just all her hair in her face, and I was
that
like,
is
Katie, I swear to
fucking
God.
amazing. I didn't
I'll
know
punch
Katie
you in-
used to
Yeah,
do that
oh,
to you.
yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, got a reaction out of me. She loved doing that.
That's great.
Or anytime I saw the TV all fuzzy, staticky, I was like, no, I gotta turn
Right.
it off. Not gonna work.
Yeah. I just think they're on a real world relatable level. I guess they're the most relatable kind of thing, and it's the thing that I don't know.
I mean, the ghosts are the relatable thing.
Yeah, or just just freaky occurrences and stuff. And then you're finding too, in a lot more of these movies too, the real human element to everything. So I guess that's what I said when it was emotional, when you were talking about how like it
Boom.
affected you emotionally and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you really think about it, because movies like The Ring and stuff, there's They're scary. They're lacking emotional element. Or those fucking what are those fucking movies with the fucking cameras all over the rooms?
Oh, Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, the paranormal activities.
The first one I liked
There's
a lot.
not any human element really going on though. Like, yeah, you're seeing these people get terrorized, but there's no human, like, really human element. But there's some movies coming out, more often, I think, in that realm and movies that already have, like, say, like The Shining, and and The Sixth Sense is another great example of, like, a real human element where you're invested in these characters. You really,
I guess, yeah, I can see
You
that.
know.
There was more human investment in The Sixth Sense than Paranormal Activity. What I liked about Paranormal Activity, though, was, I guess, the way it was done with, like, the footage and, like, how it was shot. Just the thought of, like, when you're asleep at night, you and Megan, like, me and my wife were just sleeping there. Hours go by, and, like, we're not conscious of, like, what's happening around us. That's what kind of got to me. I was like, holy shit, like, what's going on from 2 to 4 in the morning in the house when I'm sleeping?
yeah,
I don't have a camera catching or anything.
Yeah.
So that part stuck with me. But yeah, the characters, I was like, they're just
Yeah.
there to like,
Yeah,
observe and see what happens.
Yeah.
I do have a funny thing with Paranormal Activity that got me, though. So I was in college, I think I just graduated, went and saw it in theaters, came home that night, and Ellen didn't want to go see it because she hates scary movies. But I remember sitting on the couch, and I was like, all right, that got me, my heart racing, I was a little frightened. Sitting on the couch that night before going to bed, and the fucking light cover on the ceiling falls off and hits the floor. And I was like, why the hell did this happen tonight? Of course, after I just saw that movie. Of course, the timing of it to be like, it's just going to fall just at that time right after I saw the movie. Yeah,
always
so I was
seems like things like that do happen too.
Yeah, that, of course, going to bed that night, I was like, God damn it. if
Door
someone-
fucking slams shut. Something happens where it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Yeah.
But it's always, to me, it's always explainable. Like, that's, like, I think people think of ghost stuff, but what actually happened is something that you could explain that you just didn't know about.
Mhm.
So, like, giraffes in the house,
Yeah.
or even something that we don't even understand yet, like other dimensions, or maybe like a strong emotion can imprint on the space-time it's in, so it's like an echo of
Yeah.
something that we kind of see.
Well, and if let's just say it's all real. Ghosts exist. They're roaming all over. Then they're fucking everywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah.
How many fucking people have died? More people have been here and died than are here today.
It'd be a lot.
Yeah. I mean, just look at this fucking our continent itself. It's like,
Yeah.
The Shining is the whole thing's like the hotel was built on like an Indian burial ground.
Was the actual Stanley built on?
Well, that's like I don't know,
spread
but
story?
that's I think that's and it's
It's
just
always
like
Indian ground.
the whole
That's always
continent. I got news for you. The whole fucking continent is built on an Indian burial ground. Like
Pretty
we
much.
came in and slaughtered those people. So there's just if ghosts are real, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. They will be constantly around us everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. All right, last question I had. So do you prefer demon movies or ghost movies? Some kind of are in between, like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
I guess which one's scarier?
I don't know if I have a preference, and I'm not going to say one's necessarily scarier than the other. And like I said, you know me, I'm not religious, but that doesn't mean that I don't contemplate those things.
Yeah,
So having the sort of religious ties into that spiritual world, I don't mind one bit. I can get on board with that.
yeah,
But a movie like The Others, for example, which really didn't have that kind of element to it,
right.
it's still one of my all-time favorite ghost
Most
movies.
definitely.
I remember
Yeah.
the first time I saw the movie, scared the living shit out of me, dude.
Yeah,
Really gave, like, the movie itself, it wasn't a movie that, like, kept me up at night or anything.
yeah.
But just watching the movie was, like, freaky.
Like in the moment.
It was a
yeah.
freaky thing,
A good suspense.
a good suspense. The old lady in that movie,
I am your daughter.
yeah, the old lady is fucking freaky in that movie.
Yeah,
And the thing I loved about it is, I'm not one of these big thinkers. Did not
course
see
you are.
the ending for The Sixth Sense coming.
no, yeah.
Did not realize the ending for the others either, where you find out that,
Yeah.
the people who think they're getting haunted, the family thinks they're getting haunted. In reality is that they're actually, without knowing it, haunting the family that's actually alive,
Yeah,
their real
which is
life
great.
family. Yeah. Which is a cool twist that I didn't see coming. I never find out any of this shit until the
Yeah.
reveals happen. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a guy that uncovers.
I'm there in the moment,
that
like,
shit,
oh,
yeah.
what's going on? I'm like, what's this mean? And which is funny though.
So the
'cause-
old lady was scary as shit to me the whole
Yeah.
time, and then you find out at the end she's just a medium. She's
Yeah.
the one trying to reach out to him to like tell him, hey,
Exactly. Creeping them
what
out.
are you doing scaring this fucking family
Yeah.
in this house?
With
Like,
the living can scare
yeah,
the dead,
yeah.
basically.
yeah, where the living can
Yeah.
scare the dead. That's what I liked about
Yeah.
that movie. It was cool. It was
Which
really
is funny
cool.
because that hit me, and I was like, wait a minute, this is kind of like The Sixth Sense. So I looked it up, and the others came out after The Sixth Sense, and I was like, how did I not see that coming? It's
Mm,
like,
right.
but it doesn't feel like it was copied from The Sixth Sense.
No,
either.
no,
It's
yeah,
totally different.
yeah. But then again, like I said, I love the Conjuring movies. Those have a very, very deeply religious element to them.
Yeah,
Heaven and
that's
hell,
true.
and specifically demons.
Crucifix going upside down, or
Mhm.
whatever. Crucifixes going upside down.
Yeah.
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 Well, let's go into the ghost stuff then, since we were just talking about the others. Do you have like a top 3 or 5 ghost movies that come to mind?
Well, the others is definitely in there, obviously.
Yeah, same. Sixth Sense, probably.
Sixth Sense is definitely in there, especially after having seen that movie multiple times now.
Yeah,
I just really like it. It's good. Yeah, it becomes less. It's interesting. When I first saw The Sixth Sense, it really freaked me out. It
Oh,
was
same.
a freaky movie.
well, we were like in middle school when that came out. Yeah,
I
8th
think
grade?
so, maybe. Yeah.
99, I want to say. it
Like
came
that's the
out.
movie. That was the kind of movie that stuck with me after. So like when
Yeah.
I woke up to take a piss, I was just like, don't look in the hallway. Just like don't look out the hall, out the bathroom door
Close
into
the
the
door,
hallway. If I see something walk by in that hallway, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Hear your mom rustling around in the kitchen, all the cabinet doors are open.
But it's funny. The more I watch that movie, the less scary it gets, and just the more interesting it becomes.
Yeah.
And not from a nerdy film perspective, but from a story perspective. I just really like the story, and I like the concepts that were
Yeah.
brought to it.
Wasn't there something with that when, like, whenever you saw red, there was like a red balloon or red sweater, like a ghost was coming up?
Yeah, and like when the temperature drops, he gets
Yeah.
the goosebumps as another indication and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely in there.
Did you ever see What Lies Beneath?
Yeah, What Lies Beneath was a freaky movie.
That's up there in my
Yeah.
top 5 for sure.
That's a freaky movie. Yeah, that's a freaky movie. I'm trying to think of some other ones that are just strictly ghost related, that don't
Yeah.
really bring in that religious element to them that I've really liked.
Well, I have some lists here. I can like well, Amityville Horror, is that just ghost? Or they?
I mean, technically
Demonic?
speaking, it was supposed to be possession, but I know they've had. I think there was one version of that movie I saw that I don't really remember a religious element to it. I mean, there was
Yeah.
definitely spiritual ghost stuff, like the dad was possessed or whatever, but
Because they were on a burial ground too.
yeah,
right?
but my memory of it is just being like more kind of crazy,
yeah.
scary than just like really pounding on the good and evil kind of aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, then you have like The Ring. That's a ghost technically.
Yeah, not a fan of the Ring.
Yeah, or The Grudge. We talked
Not-
about
yeah,
that one.
nah.
See, The Grudge. The one part of The Grudge that got me, it broke one of my rules when I was a kid. I guess I was in high school when this came out, but when the chick in the movie goes to hide in the her covers in the bed, and the fucking Grudge girl comes up through the covers in her face, and I was like, nah. Now, for me when I was a kid, if you're in your covers, like you're safe, no matter how hot it
Right?
got.
Yeah.
You just keep if the foot's
There's
poking out.
no fucking way a ghost is gonna be able to penetrate these
No.
fucking layers
your
of
sheets.
cloth, dude. No fucking way.
But you can't keep anything exposed. I'll suffocate in here before I put my head out to breathe. But yeah, so that broke that rule. But
Oh, Crimson Peak.
I have that on this list here. Yeah,
Crimson
you
Peak
saw
was
that?
good. And another one that wasn't like super scary to me, but I
No.
love that. I really liked that movie. It was a good movie.
Interesting.
Crimson Peak.
I think I went in with my hopes too high that it was going to be, because I love Guillermo. I love his stuff, but I guess I was left like, oh, I was hoping I wanted it to be scarier, I guess, and it wasn't as scary as I thought.
It was a
gonna
little
be.
more indie, like
Yeah.
avant-garde, artsy.
Yeah.
It was very.
I mean, the ghosts look cool and shit.
I mean, I really like that movie,
It's a cool
but
vibe.
I guess my expectations of it being super scary, they might not have been there. I don't know, but it was really good.
There was a bunch in like the 90s, 2000s that I liked. We had Stir of Echoes, Kevin Bacon.
You know, I was gonna say something about Stir of Echoes. Actually, that's a good one. Yeah.
Which I heard, so that came out the same year as The Sixth Sense, and so The Sixth Sense kind of overpowered that one. So people are like, you remember The Sixth Sense before you remember Stir of Echoes. But that's a good movie. I haven't seen it since college, I want to say. Ghost Ship. Did you ever watch Ghost Ship back in the day?
Ghost Ship. Might be, well, not even might be. I certainly think it's in top 10 or top 5 of opening scenes.
Oh, where everyone's dancing on the ship and stuff? And the cable snaps?
Pretty awesome, dude. That's an amazing way to start a movie. That's pretty awesome. Like,
Yeah, I enjoyed that one a lot when I was younger. Then you have ones like 1408 Room with Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, I never saw that.
I saw it once a long time ago. But you have like The House on Haunted Hill with Liam Neeson.
House on Haunted Hill was good. The Haunting.
The
You remember The
Haunting?
Haunting? The Haunting was good.
Yeah,
I like that movie.
I watched that one a couple times. in
I
high
don't know if
school.
that's aged so well either, but I
Probably
do
not.
like it. Yeah.
No. And it's not a movie, but did you watch the Haunting in Hill House or whatever on Netflix?
No. I
Oh,
didn't.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
check it.
All right.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
really enjoyed that. That's a good series. You're going to have to watch it after Halloween now, but that's on you, huh?
Did you ever see the movie The Awakening?
That sounds familiar.
It had the actress who's in.
Oh, I've seen the cover. It almost looks like the others, where it's like she's walking out in the foggy area on the cover.
Yeah, her name's Rebecca Hall,
But no, I did
and
not. see
she's
that.
Not only is she a hottie, she's a really pretty decent actress too.
Even better. All right. All right.
And no, but The Awakening was pretty good. It's like she goes to investigate this orphanage. She's like
Okay.
a bullshit caller. She calls out like all these
Oh, yeah.
oculate mediums that try to take advantage of
Yeah.
people and stuff. These hoaxes and stuff. She's kind of
She's
like,
Snopes.com.
yeah, she's like, no, we're not doing that.
Until
And then
gets
she
proved
goes to
wrong.
this orphanage, and that's when shit goes down.
Yeah.
And it's all about the kind of the story revolves around her and this little boy. And I only watched it one time, so all the details are pretty fuzzy to me. But I remember that being,
I think
it's like a movie that sticks out to me.
Yeah. It's been on my list to watch for sure. I got to watch it one of these Octobers. The Shining, obviously.
Oh,
That's a good
dude, The
one.
Shining is amazing.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in forever.
The Shining is so great, dude. Especially when you consider when it was made,
Yeah.
like decades ago.
Yeah, it was the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, 80, I think.
Was it 80?
Yeah. Stanley
Yeah.
Kubrick, good shit.
Yeah.
And I just love that movie, dude. And after so many rewatches, it's really not scary anymore, but it really is cool. There's a lot of cool elements in there.
Yeah.
that
It's so
you can
pop culture
see people
now.
buff, and it's so ingrained in pop culture. And then I just love. I mean, there's some parts of that movie that just make me crack up, like in a good way. Like I just laugh, like in
mean, like
enjoyment. Like
Jack Nicholson is...
when Jack Nicholson's like his
Antics.
acting and his antics are so just like I'll just like laugh out loud. But it's really
What did I read?
it's in a good way. Yeah.
I read earlier other people that were thought to going to be casted for that role was, I think, Robin Williams. Is it Robert De Niro?
That would have been interesting as fuck.
Yeah. And one other person. But yeah, but I think they went well, Jack Nicholson. Then yeah, there's ones I haven't seen, like The Woman in Black.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there that obviously you can't even see
Yeah.
close to as many as there exist. But
So I have an interesting one. It's a ghost. I mean, it's called A Ghost Story, but it's more of a drama. It's very slow paced, but it was interesting. and it's got Casey Affleck. It's got Casey Affleck in it. Basically, he dies, and then it's from his perspective, and he just is like a ghost with a sheet over himself, watching his wife like live on and deal with stuff, and it's very slow paced and like very much drama, but it's kind of interesting just to see it because it goes years in the future, and then he like comes back in the past, and he like haunts himself, kind of.
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, it's interesting. If you have like a slow day and you want to check something out that's a little different, check out A Ghost Story. All right, I got some ones from left field here. You ready for this?
Oh yeah, so this is, just to be clear for our listeners, this is kind of your like Die Hard is a Christmas movie kind of thing, right? Yeah. Okay.
Well, actually, I guess before I get there, obviously we have Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, The Frighteners. Ever see The Frighteners?
I've seen Frighteners.
That's a fun one too.
There are some like spooky moments in that movie, like legit spooky moments. Even though like you find yourself laughing, like it's comedic.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. Yeah, I do remember there being some freaky elements to that movie.
When I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of funny, huh?" Michael J. Fox. And in the end, I was like, "Oh shit, that actually kind of scared me."
Yeah, yeah, it gets kind of serious at the end. Yeah,
fucking Busey Jr. in that. All right, here's my left field
Poltergeist.
I was gonna say Poltergeist. Yeah, that's a classic one too. A Christmas Carol is a ghost story.
Yeah, is that a genre bending? Story.
Technically, it's
Christmas
ghost story.
Carol. Okay.
Which I guess in old English tradition, I could be wrong, but I think I read this somewhere. It's like it was a tradition on Christmas to tell ghost stories. That's kind of how that came along. So there you go, Christmas Carol, ghost movie, and
no, not a ghost movie. Okay.
And Field of Dreams.
Oh my god, dude. Field of Dreams, huh? Okay.
Yeah, it's a legit ghost movie.
Yeah, legit ghost movie.
There you go. And then Coco. That's another good kind of ghost movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Ancestors Ghosts. You saw Coco, right?
Yeah, it's been a while though.
That's a fun one. But I think that's all I had on my mind here for ghost movies. Gothica, Casper, obviously. Mama was okay.
Mama, never saw that.
Oculus. Oh, Ghost, Swayze. Give me more.
Yeah. Romance and a scary movie. Yeah, a ghost movie.
All right. Actually, before we get into demons here, I'm going to get another beverage, so I'm going to pause here. All right. Demon movies. Demonic possession. Do you have top ones in this category?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely Exorcist is in there.
Yeah.
The original
Classic.
Exorcist. Conjuring is in there, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was interesting that you said right before break, there's other things like Mothman Prophecies, Babadook.
Yeah, that one.
That kind of are in between, but I love Babadook. I know that's not necessarily demon possession kind of thing, but for the sake of just kind of inclusiveness, I would include like.
Well, yeah. Well, I have. So that would be the third category I have here. Supernatural. Yeah. So
Supernatural. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, it's not quite ghosts.
Not quite demons. Okay. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
Mothman Prophecy is really good too.
Yeah.
And I'm all about lore and like kind of, like lore being just like ranging from anything to like the history or just contemplating, real life elements or just anything like that. That's how I term lore. And Mothman Prophecies, all these movies are based off of real shit, or a lot of them based off true events, based off true story, blah, 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 blah. And if you look that one up, that one's legit just, like, weird.
Yeah.
Like, the shit that happened in that town with all those people.
I dove deep into that one.
Is, like, really strange. Like, that was one of the ones that I actually looked up and I was like, that's just, like, really weird.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes you look it up and there's like, it was coincidence or like it was proven to be hoax. Or like no one's really sure, but it wasn't ever that big of a deal or this or this or this. But the Mothman Prophecies one, I remember looking up and like kind of the town it's based off and all the people and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's legit weird
Yeah,
because that shit really happened.
it's
Like
fucking crazy.
the shit happened, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
definitely a good one.
But yeah, Exorcist, Conjuring, Hereditary is definitely in there.
Yeah, so you want to talk about your thoughts on Hereditary?
Yeah, I really like it. It falls along the lines of the Babadook for me, as far as
Interesting.
these newer or newish, horror, scary movies coming out that are just they make it. They're able to make it different. They're able to kick it into an extra gear and kind of
Or it's like something new.
horror. I mean, there are a few genres that you can say this about, but horror in particular, you have to borrow a lot. A lot of the things that used to work in movies, even if they're outdated, they still get copied.
Right? Yeah.
But particularly when they work, they get borrowed a lot. And you just can't be helped, for sure. Like, I understand that. But it just felt like a movie to me that was different. It just felt different watching it.
Yeah, whole different vibe. It's like,
Yeah,
feel
well,
to
just
it.
a different feel. Like a
Mhm.
different... Yeah, just different feel to it. I loved a lot of the aspects of it. The acting was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Toni Collette had huge praise
Yeah.
for her acting in
The
that.
acting was good. The directing was good. Cinematography, just how everything was set.
That opening shot was my favorite, where like
Mhm.
it zooms
Into
into the
the,
house and then
yeah,
it's in the
into-
house.
yeah. And yeah, it wasn't even necessarily super scary to me. Like, it wasn't
Yeah.
something that was like really scary. But I've been thinking about it a lot in the past like 48 hours.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I like about it the most is going back to that lore aspect, like the behind the scenes kind of details. So I like the whole movie. I like how it paced. The ending for me was amazing, though.
But that's interesting. I thought maybe that might like because you were texting me when you first started watching it, like the shit's getting crazy, and I thought maybe the ending was gonna ruin it for you. Like it'd be like, oh no, this is dumb. Interesting.
The ending to me was perfect. I loved the ending, and I loved it even more after looking at, like, into more detail about the demon that it's kind of based off
Mhm.
of. So, like, I said, a lot of movies they have to borrow, and so like the whole cult aspect is not a new story being
Yeah.
told, like the cult.
Demonic
But it
possession,
doesn't
not new.
feel like a cult movie. It doesn't feel like there's this cult that's trying to like take control of this family, even though that is what is happening.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like that's not necessarily.
They're not huge characters.
It's
yeah.
not necessarily like the. Yeah, it's not. It's not the cult that you're actually even worried about, really.
Yeah.
Oddly enough.
They're showing up naked in your house.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I just love the ending. I love the ending particularly because of just how it all plays out.
Is that from when like the mom's after the dad gets set on fire and the mom's
After the
dead?
dad gets set on fire, from that point onward, it's gold. 100% gold, dude. Just how it all plays out, how the mom goes fucking crazy. She's banging her head on that attic door.
That stuck with me. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, and just
Grandma's in the attic. Yeah.
yeah, and I love that ending where she floats up to the treehouse
Mm-hmm.
and he follows in there, and you can kind of see how it's all kind of forming together, and he goes up there, they're all bowing down, and his sister's head is on that fucking thing with the crown on, and
And how she was possessed as a kid.
yeah, and the lady's like, no, like, we fixed that mistake, like,
yeah.
we got you the male body that you desire, and she refers to him as like Paimon,
Yeah.
the eighth devil of hell or whatever.
Right. Actually has a name.
And it's just really cool, like the way the tension kind of builds, and then the music kind of comes in with that, and so the thing about it is, like, it's odd. I really like this movie because even though this family is tormented, and they carry this burden. Whether it was set in motion by the grandmother or even before that, they carry this burden.
Hereditary burden.
Yeah. But the movie felt like a triumph, actually, to me at the end.
Triumph.
Yeah. It was like, it wasn't a sour, and it wasn't like a devastating feeling for me, like I felt sorry necessarily for anybody. Like the overwhelming like emotion I had was like, it was like almost a positive. It was like, like I know bad stuff has happened to the family, and especially the father figure, who just kind of is, his character kind of acts as like
trying to steer the ship.
Yeah, well, and
like,
just trying to keep reason involved, and you know, but and even though his demise is super shitty for him, he's not getting anything out of it necessarily. It felt like a triumph for the stories of the character.
And
it felt like a victory because it
for
was a
someone.
victory.
Yeah.
Like their whole thing, as traumatic as it was, like I said, set in motion, you know, long before. So it actually feels like a triumph, like a victory for this cult, which is just a completely background kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they're the whole reason everything happened. You find out at the end, and it oddly enough feels like it's like it's victory. It's like they accomplished what they were trying
And
to
it's like a
accomplish.
different victory, because a lot of horror movies end with like, oh shit, the killer's there. Like the good guys rarely win in a horror movie. But I guess it does have a different feel of how the bad guys won in this movie.
Yeah, the bad guys won, and even still, it's like, well, how bad are they?
Well,
I know. I mean, they know. Well, okay. Well, here's the thing. They brought the demon back, right? But here's the thing. As I was doing more, my like further research into it, yeah, they did bring the demon back. Man, I had it too. I might need a minute if you want to chime in here on your thoughts.
Yeah. So Hereditary, one part that got me. I mean, the whole tone of the movie was great, and then the with the sister when she gets decapitated, that's when it hit me. I was like, oh shit,
That's a great scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the brother drives home and is in shock and lays, and like the whole camera stays on him the whole time, just laying in bed, and I'm just like, and you just hear like the mom's reaction, and that just like the way it was portrayed, I was like, holy crap, like that's very intense and crazy, and definitely kept my attention. I was just like, shit, this is a crazy movie.
Yeah, I found what I was looking for. Okay, so like, so I found so in my research I found like all these descriptions, the King Paimon that guy's based off of, and it's like, you know what I said just now about like, I mean, how bad was the cult? I mean, obviously they're bad, but bad not in just like this. I didn't get the feeling that it was like a pure evil. I think like it's not like this cult is gonna. I don't get the feeling that this cult is resurrecting this eighth devil from hell so that they can like turn the whole world into darkness.
Right, it's bringing like the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's not about like possessing every human soul and blah 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 and changing the balance of heaven and hell. It's about just a different kind of thing. And when in the description of King Paimon, who's like, you know, he's in literature and he's in like, you know, it's documented stuff. It says King Paimon is one of Lucifer's most obedient devotees, rules over 200 legions of angels, is connected to the Tree of Death, and first appeared in blah 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 Lesser Key of Solomon. Okay, he can discover. Oh, okay, yeah. So in the Lesser King of Solomon, which is this book, Paimon can teach all arts and science and other secret things. He can discover unto thee what the earth is, and what holdeth it up in the waters, and what mind is, and where it is, or any other thing thou mayest desire to know. He giveth dignity and confirmeth the same. He bindeth or maketh any man subject unto the magician if he so desire it. He giveth good familiars, and such as he can teach all arts. That is the description of this eighth devil from hell.
So it's almost like he can show you stuff God doesn't want you to
Yeah.
tap into.
He can
It's not
show
bad
you
necessarily.
secrets of
Yeah.
the universe, of the world, of he can show you, he can share secrets with you that
Like forbidden
extend
fruit, basically.
that extend beyond the realm. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. That's a great way to put it. It's the forbidden fruit.
Mhm.
So, but in my interpretation of that is he's sharing knowledge. You know, is knowledge
Yeah.
power? Certainly. What kind of power, though? How dangerous is that power?
Okay, yeah.
How are you going to wield that power? How are you going to wield that knowledge? There's nothing, even though this family gets tormented in the story, you know, this family is legitimately tormented. In the end, it feels like it was all
For a higher cause?
Yeah, for a higher
Yeah.
cause, which is odd. And I assume the general interpretation is that the higher cause is negative, which I totally understand. But I like to think of it as I like to put more of a positive spin on it, oddly enough, as in like, it doesn't mean that the world has to go to shit or that mankind is
Yeah.
ruined. It just means that there's going to be a different thing going on here now.
Yeah. They have a whole new realm of.
And my hope,
Thinking, I guess,
yeah,
yeah.
a whole new realm thing. My hope would be that it doesn't end up being that they just like, you know, do a big like suicide pact with 1,000 people in some cult out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Like
I would
Kool-Aid,
hope that it
yeah.
would be, yeah, a little bit, you know, better than that, more progressive
Yeah.
than that. But yeah, it was weird. I mean, it was spooky. It was definitely spooky.
Yeah.
There-
I kept thinking about it like days
and,
after I saw
and
it.
the tension definitely hangs on, you know, the tension balances on a string, you know.
Yeah.
And you do feel sorry for this family, especially the little girl and the son
Yeah.
and the mom and the dad who just like this is over his comprehension as a person.
Yeah. It's no control.
He is, yeah, and you know,
I guess Grandma got off easy. She didn't do anything, but.
I would think so. I
Yeah.
mean, Grandma did get off easy and didn't get off easy. I mean, it's just I don't know. I just loved it. I thought
Yeah.
it was amazing, and just the whole thing, just the whole ending was like it gave me chills. That ending, it gave me chills because it was just like, but it wasn't like I was terrified or I wasn't, you know.
Yeah. It's not like they're going to wreak havoc on the world now. Interesting. Huh. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad you like that.
I did like that movie
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I knew
it
it
was
was.
good.
I mean, it's something. When I saw it, I was like, "Holy shit, this is interesting, different." Stuck with me.
I need to watch it again, for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen it a second time either, and I'll watch it under that lens of looking at it as bringing new knowledge, kind of ultimately
Yeah.
the triumph you're talking about.
Right. Yeah. The triumph. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, cool. Demon movies. So there's a couple other exorcism ones. Exorcism of Emily Rose. Did you ever see that one?
I did see that one. That one was pretty good.
It was fun. That one
Mhm.
came perfect time for me because it was freshman year of college. And we went and saw it that freshman year. And there's that scene in the dorm room where like her roommate wakes up and she's like all laying on the floor
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at her.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at my roommate Rory. I was like, dude, if you do that to me tonight, I swear to God, I'm punch you in the face. Do not do that to me.
Right.
And then you have still in the Conjuring universe, Annabelle, your favorite one, The Nun. I assume that's a demon one, right?
Yeah, the Nun's definitely a demon,
Okay,
and
yeah.
that's based off of like a demon that's like traced back in all these books and pieces of
Also
literature and
has a
stuff.
name.
Vlasic, yeah.
Okay.
Is
yeah.
it Is it Valak? Vlasic. Valak,
Rhymes
yeah.
with phallic. Okay.
But he's in a lot of literature too.
Interesting.
Like I
okay.
think that like people.
So they
have
just
written
didn't do
about
as
him
good
and
of a
stuff.
job of that storyline.
The Nun
structure.
just sucked.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It just wasn't good. I don't know who directed it. It wasn't good. I don't know if it was the same director as The Conjurings or whatever. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But the execution of The Conjuring is amazing. That first one is good. You're invested
Yeah.
in the characters. The spooky elements are really spooky. The jump scares are perfectly timed.
Mm-hmm. It's got good suspense to it.
It's got that crazy witch
Yeah.
who's legitimately frightening, and yeah, that's a solid
Yeah,
one.
it's
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
There's some fun ones too, like Jennifer's Body, Megan Fox.
I'm familiar with
Yeah.
that one. I haven't seen
It's
it.
like a succubus, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you ever seen Idle Hands?
No.
That's a good, fun one. It's if you just want to watch like a fun stoner comedy horror from like the early 2000s. We got Offspring makes a cameo in that, but this kid, the stoner kid,
Nice.
his hand gets possessed by the devil basically, and he ends up chopping it off, and it's like doing its own thing. And
Nice.
yeah, we got Seth Green, one of the Bash Brothers. That's a fun one. It's
Alright.
set on Halloween, so that's a good
Yeah.
fun one to watch sometime. Would you consider Chucky to be a?
I guess he is. Yeah.
I mean, it's the spirit of
It's a
serial
dynamic
killer.
doll. Yeah.
Gets
Yeah.
taken over. Did you ever see Veronica, the Spanish movie?
No.
I think it was on Netflix too. That one wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was up there. I would put it in between probably The Nun and Hereditary. Had some good suspense and a few good scares in there. Any other demonic possession ones you can think of? There's tons of them out there when I was looking through them, but not ones that I've seen or that looked worthy of
Yeah, I know there's a lot out there. And then if you're just talking about demon movies, not even like possession movies, there's a lot of those out there
like
too.
Constantine.
Constantine, Hellraiser, stuff
Oh,
of
yeah,
that
yeah.
nature.
So I haven't seen those
Um,
ones.
Oh, you should definitely watch
Yeah, You
Hellraiser.
mentioned that last time.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah. Pinhead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think and I would definitely say that the newer movies definitely hold my attention better.
Over like The Exorcist.
Over
That
the
still have-
older movies. I mean, I still love The Exorcist. The Exorcist is really good, but I'm sure there's a few old movies that we're not mentioning and stuff, but the newer movies just
Probably.
do it for me.
The
Yeah.
Omen's on there. Rosemary's Baby. I just haven't
Right,
seen
yeah.
those ones. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, then let's finish with supernatural, paranormal kind of movies. So you're talking about the Babadook earlier.
Babadook is great.
So what is the Babadook? Because
Yeah.
it's a storybook character that comes to life.
Yeah, have you seen?
I saw it when
okay.
it first came out. So
Yeah.
it's been a while. I'm
So the
trying to remember how it
Babadook is
works.
like, I haven't seen it in a while either. The Babadook. So I guess its main and its primary interpretation is, from my understanding, is that it's the mother's grief
Like
It-
manifesting.
manifesting into this creature.
Yeah. Interesting. All right.
But even then, oddly enough, it's kind of like, I kind of associate with Hereditary in that it's like, at the end, it's like a triumph at the end. I mean,
I can't remember how it ends.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like she almost masters her grief a little bit, or comes to terms with it. And the Babadook is less of a threat. But I think it's still there.
Yeah, they
so
don't banish it or anything
It's
like
still,
that.
I don't remember that. Like I said, man, you're right.
I can't remember how it
I'm a
ends.
little fuzzy on it. My memory of it is that they don't banish it. It's not like it gets.
Is it like the more you believe in it, the more it exists and is real?
Yeah,
Something like
maybe,
that?
and whether it's just simply like that, a metaphor for grief or whatever. I like to think of it as like a real life vessel. I like to think of it as something that she created or that was created for her. So I like to think that the Babadook isn't just an element of her emotional state or her psychology, her psyche or whatever, but that she really did manifest this creature. This creature is a real thing.
Yeah.
Actually exists.
Almost like in Sphere, how what they think they can like create. and
Right,
becomes real.
yeah. So I like to think that it's real. It's a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one though. I
Yeah,
did
that
enjoy
was good,
Babadook. We talked about Mothman Prophecies, which that's just a good thriller, like kind of gives you chills.
Yeah,
like,
it's
ooh,
spooky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like,
definitely
this
spooky.
could
Yeah.
be real. This could happen. Stigmata, that's a fun one. I don't think that's demonic one. It's definitely, church background, but that's one that Ellen actually will watch. She's like, I don't mind Stigmata.
Yeah.
So it's not too scary. What would you call the Bird Box? Did you watch the Bird Box? Sandra Bullock on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's not monsters, but it's a
That's more
force.
sci-fi, isn't it?
Kind of. It's like a force that makes you do stuff. It's not like a creature.
I guess I never really put it in that realm. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, I did see it. But maybe it's because how they told that story. It felt apocalyptic, and it felt more like kind of the zombie element to it rather than
when like society falls apart and shit.
Yeah, and there is this force that's almost like unstoppable, and it just I guess it had more of a survival, apocalyptic
Survival, yeah.
feel to it rather than a supernatural thing for me. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah. One that I've really enjoyed that's in this kind of category is It Follows. You ever seen It Follows?
No, I haven't, but I think I should.
Yeah,
I think it's time to see that. Yeah.
I wouldn't put it up there with Hereditary, giving you that kind of feel, but it's fun, unique. I mean, some of it's like it's like a metaphor for STDs or whatever, but it's just a cool, not exactly like jump scares. It's just a constant like this thing just follows you, and once it gets you, you're gonna die, but you can pass on to someone else, and just the whole movie is just like it can take form of anything because it's just following you. I definitely recommend that one. That was a fun one.
Yeah.
What would you call it?
I would definitely put that in the supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's just his fear, basically.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's the supernatural one for sure. That falls right in that category.
Yeah, he's not like a monster. He just becomes whatever you're most scared of. Like Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow, definitely supernatural.
Yeah. But
I mean, not strictly, but yeah.
Yeah. I guess both interpretations. The story that we all read as kids, and then the Tim Burton version.
Yeah, the Tim Burton version. Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah.
And then, you ever see Flatliners, the original?
No.
They made a remake too, and that one, when I read about it, because I saw it a while ago, it's kind of like doctors, like inducing themselves to basically die and then revive themselves and talk about what happens, and then shit goes crazy because they're like messing with life and death kind of stuff. So I have to watch that one again.
Yeah.
But then you have Stephen King ones, Christine, like with the car. I don't know how you would classify that one. Supernatural, probably.
Yeah, there's the gray area with these kinds of movies.
Yeah.
Final Destination would be another one, I think.
You could call it supernatural.
Which is pretty supernatural, I think.
Yeah, that's
almost in its element.
Yeah. It's like a bird box with like a force. I guess it's death, basically.
It's death, yeah, which I don't know how you define that as far as, what it would be. So it kind of falls in that
death
category.
Is natural, but is it supernatural? Yeah.
And there's even movies, too, that I think about that also kind of a gray area, even though it's not explicitly made known that there's an evil force at work or there's anything like that. But like I think about a movie like Shutter Island, which isn't supposed to be a
is that like psychological
ghost?
thriller?
Yeah, it's supposed to be more like, okay, this guy's clearly insane,
and you're living in his insanity.
But the elements to it are so in that kind of horror realm.
Yeah.
That for me, that movie falls in that gray area a little bit.
Yeah, where it gets your like heart racing, edge of your seat, kind of like, shit's gonna happen. Yeah, I'd give it that. Yeah. Any others you can think of? Do you want to add on there?
I mean, I'm sure there are, but
there's tons.
Yeah,
we'll get into We'll dive into some of these even further in the upcoming episodes here. So I figured then we'd end here with what do you want to talk about next month? For November, like November proper.
So I've been thinking about that. I mean, I know we themed Halloween, and we're gonna theme Christmas for sure, because that's a huge. I mean,
lots of good ones.
That's
Die Hard.
I think the number one reason why Christmas is. Well, I won't call it the number one reason. It's a huge reason why Christmas is the way it popularized the way it is. It's why we.
It's like the biggest holiday of.
That's why it's the biggest holiday, and the movies have definitely played on that a lot.
Yeah.
Just how it is in our psyche. I think you can definitely relate it.
Well, you already got the fucking stores loaded up with Christmas gifts and commercials happening already.
So there's plenty of ideas, that I have that we can do, and this will probably be a further discussion we'll have off mic. Is is there any kind of form or that we're going to follow here, because we could literally do an episode, every single episode,
Yeah.
about anything.
Exactly. We have a huge list to get off of.
You know, like, and this is what we talked about before. You know, it's like one episode can be very random, one can be very specialized. You can have elements of all kinds of things. I mean, just think of all the directors, actors, actresses. You can do an episode about just any one person.
So many little bubbles within
Or
bubbles.
any one thing, you know.
Yeah.
You could fill up a whole episode with an Arnold Schwarzenegger episode, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
on and so on and so on and so on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we could really talk about anything. So I'll have to give that one some thought about the next episode.
Yeah, for November. Because I'm leaning maybe football, we'll see. But if you know, December obviously is Christmas movies. And for January, my birthday month, I want to talk Ninja Turtles.
Okay, I like
Down
that.
in there. Yeah, let's get into that.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Shit, yeah. There we go. Halloween stuff done for the year 2019. We'll get into it again next year. And let's call it good there.
All right.
Yeah.
See you later.
Wait, sorry. One last thing. We're on social media. You can check us out at
Yeah.
Twitter at RealMoviePod, or send us an email at realmoviewatchers@gmail.com. And for now, you can check us out on YouTube at Real Movie Watchers. Just search for that. And then, yeah, we'll get on some other platforms here when we get up to date. But there you go. Say what up.